The nation was in shock. Lincoln, the man who had led them through the darkest days of the Civil War, was gone. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy lived on. His vision for a country that was united and free would continue to shape America for generations to come. As the United States moved into a new chapter of its history after Lincoln's tragic death, his legacy began to grow stronger. Though he was no longer alive to lead, his vision for the country remained alive in the hearts of the people. Lincoln had fought for a nation that was united, free, and full of promise for every person, regardless of their race or background. After Lincoln's assassination, the task of rebuilding the country fell to his successor, Andrew Johnson, and later to Ulysses S. Grant. This period of Reconstruction was an extremely challenging time for the country. The South had been devastated by the war, and now it had to be rebuilt. But there were many difficulties ahead, especially with the issue of how to bring the Southern states back into the Union. Despite Lincoln's death, his hopes for a reunited country were still the guiding light. One of the most important things Lincoln had accomplished before his death was the passage of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery throughout the nation. This was a monumental achievement, but Lincoln's vision had not been fully realized. He had wanted a country where all men, no matter their color, could live as equals. The work of creating this nation was just beginning. Though Lincoln was gone, people looked to his life as a model for how to approach hardship, struggle, and injustice. Lincoln's personal story was one of overcoming great obstacles. Born in a log cabin to poor parents, he had to work hard for everything he achieved. He had no formal education but taught himself by reading books. His life showed that success wasn't about where you started. It was about where you were willing to go. One of the most incredible things about Lincoln was his ability to maintain his humanity, even during the darkest moments. He showed the world that true leadership wasn't about power or control, but about compassion, understanding, and doing what was right, even when it was difficult. His ability to forgive, his belief in the potential for growth and change, and his commitment to his values made him a timeless figure, admired around the world. As time passed, Abraham Lincoln's legacy became enshrined not just in the hearts of Americans, but in the history books. One of the most lasting symbols of Lincoln's legacy is the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It was completed in 1922, nearly 60 years after Lincoln's death. The memorial stands as a reminder of everything Lincoln fought for, a nation where liberty and equality are paramount. Inside the memorial, a towering statue of Lincoln sits, looking out over the National Mall. His facial expression is calm, yet strong, a reflection of the character he showed throughout his life. The words of his Gettysburg Address are etched into the walls, a reminder of the ideals he stood for. The memorial has become a place where people from all walks of life come to reflect on his legacy and the progress America has made, and still has to make, toward equality for all. His life is proof that no matter how hard the circumstances, you can always take action to shape your future. Another quote from Lincoln that resonates today is, "I am a slow walker, but I never walk back." This speaks to his perseverance. Even when things seemed impossible, Lincoln kept moving forward. He faced defeat, but he never gave up. His determination is something that anyone facing challenges can relate to. Perhaps the most enduring aspect of Lincoln's legacy is his commitment to freedom and equality. Lincoln didn't just talk about the importance of liberty, he took bold action to make it a reality. The Emancipation Proclamation, which he signed in 1863, was a major turning point in American history. It freed the enslaved people in the Confederate States, and although the fight was not over, it was a declaration of Lincoln's deep belief in human dignity and equality. The 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery in the United States, was a direct result of Lincoln's leadership. His vision for a free nation was not limited to just one moment in time. It was a guiding principle for future generations. Lincoln's death, tragic as it was, did not stop the work he had begun. The seeds he planted would grow into the civil rights movement and the fight for justice that continues to this day. Lincoln's story is not just one for the history books. His life and leadership remain relevant today. We live in a world that still faces divisions, injustice, and inequality, just as Lincoln did in his time. His story shows us that no matter how difficult the situation, change is possible. It takes courage, perseverance, and a commitment to what is right. Lincoln didn't just lead a country through a war, he led it toward a brighter future. In today's world, we still look to Lincoln's example for inspiration. Leaders, activists, and everyday people continue to draw strength from his words and actions. Let us now bring Abraham Lincoln's remarkable journey to its conclusion. Not an end, but a beginning for us to reflect on, learn from, and apply to our own lives. This is a story not just about a man, but about an idea. The idea that no matter where you start in life, you can rise above challenges and leave a legacy of greatness. Abraham Lincoln taught the world what perseverance truly means. Born into poverty, he worked tirelessly to overcome every obstacle. He faced heartbreak, failure, and rejection throughout his life. Yet every time life pushed him down, he stood back up. He taught us that failure is not the end. Remember when Lincoln lost his business? When he failed in his first attempt to win a seat in the legislature? When his love, Anne Rutledge, passed away, leaving him heartbroken? Most people would have given up, but Lincoln used these setbacks as stepping stones. One of his most powerful lessons is this: my great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. Lincoln believed that failure was just another opportunity to learn, grow, and move forward. What made Lincoln unforgettable was his compassion. As a leader, he didn't just represent the powerful or the wealthy. He fought for those who had no voice. He believed in the principle that all men are created equal. What separated Lincoln from many leaders was his humility. Even as the President of the United States, he never saw himself as better than others. He was known for greeting soldiers, shaking hands with common people, and listening to their stories. He once said, "Whatever you are, be a good one. Whether you're a teacher, a student, a worker, or a leader, give your best." Lincoln didn't believe in shortcuts or easy paths. He believed in giving his all in everything he did. What can we learn from this extraordinary man? 1. Dream big, start small. Lincoln didn't start as a president. He started as a young boy reading books by candlelight. Success doesn't come overnight. It's built brick by brick. 2. Overcome fear. Lincoln faced rejection, war, and even death threats, yet he never let fear stop him. 3. Lead with love. Even during the Civil War, Lincoln's goal was not to punish but to unite. He showed that true leadership comes from love, not power. 4. Believe in equality. Lincoln stood firm in his belief that every human being deserves freedom and dignity. He risked everything to fight for what was right. If Lincoln could rise above poverty, loss, and failure to change the course of history, then so can we. His life is a reminder that we all have the power to create a legacy, not just for ourselves, but for the world. So, my dear friends, what will your legacy be? Will you give up when life gets tough? Or will you keep moving forward, just as Lincoln did? Will you fight for what is right, even when it's difficult? Will you believe in yourself, even when no one else does? Lincoln's life shows us that greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about staying true to your values and never giving up. If you've been inspired by this story of Abraham Lincoln, let me know in the comments what part of his journey touched your heart the most. Share this video with your friends and family so they too can learn from Lincoln's life. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Stories that inspire, motivate, and help you improve your English listening skills. Together we can grow, learn, and become better every day. Thank you for being with me on this incredible journey through the life of Abraham Lincoln. Remember, like Lincoln said, the best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. Let's make each day count.